Welcome everybody to Dawg Saloon. My name is Akimbo. Today I'm showcasing a 4K against partial Swift, I believe up to 2 people in a group, with Chucky. This is my 5th game or so as Chucky. I bought him just last night after getting enough of the Orc cells to purchase him, and after doing so I held off on playing him until I actually watched the movie he comes from, Child's Play. And I gotta say that did a lot for my enjoyment of the character. He is quite the shit talker. It actually kind of feels bad to hit people and hear what he has to say to them, but at the same time I felt like at some point these people deserved a little bit of shit talking for how many times they hit me with those damn pallets. These guys were pretty good. I believe the Yui I'm chasing here is a P100, so obviously pretty experienced, and with this being only my 4th or 5th game as Chucky, I was not feeling very confident, but very happy with how it eventually turned out. I'm saying eventually because there was a good long portion in the beginning, middle, and end, actually, where I was very, very uncertain as to what the outcome would be. As comes with the territory for Dawg, I'm just taking care of these breakable obstacles, the walls, and every pallet that I feel I have time to break, I take care of, because these guys, they really know how to run a loop. And this dash move that Chucky does that allows you to scamper over vaults and under pallets, pretty helpful when you have a very direct line of sight as to where the survivor is going or already is. But if you're not able to land that, the scamper just throws it way, way off. And right here, looking back at it now, I don't know how I lost that Yui. She clearly went to the left, but I was very, very confused in the moment. And so I just broke that pallet, and like I said, I came back to check on the others. Tried to get her there, but obviously hit the saber instead. But at some point, forced hesitation, one of the weirder perks I chose, I just kind of threw this build together, actually came in great use. These guys, I think, were starting to get a little cocky at some point with how many times I missed my fucking swing, and I think they started grouping up to do a little bit of bullying activity. You can see the Yui keeps flashing her light, and although I don't have a reason to believe that's supposed to be assault or rage baiting or anything of the sort, it kind of reads like that. And at some point I was getting pretty frustrated. That pallet that I actually just ran under there, Sable drops that at some point, and you'll be able to see my genuine frustration in the way I shake my camera. It's very difficult to play as Chucky. His dash is basically his one thing, besides, I guess, maybe his size, but that dash really does not come in handy very often like that. I'm just raging. I'm just shaking at the pallet. It wasn't the pallet's fault. Did nothing wrong. She vaults here, and I don't really care to go for it. I figured the more aggressive approach that had worked in previous games to get me some 4Ks was not working very well with these folks, so I decided to do a sort of generally protective thing over as many gens as I possibly could. Now in this instance, I could only see the Renato here, so I chased him, and it actually ended up being, again, I think he underestimated me, because I was able to mind game him right there, get that hit, and then I think I closed in on him shortly after breaking this gen. But just generally trying to apply pressure across as much of the map as possible. Oh no, that's right, I ran into the Yui here. Funny thing about this is right here is the beginning to a kind of snowball. I downed I forgot, I think that's Nia? I downed this Ellen, and then I didn't even know that Renato was there, but he had the flashlight, and so I go for him. These two clowns I had already seen, and I was actually faking a pickup of the Nia or Ellen to try and bait them and then down them, just as I'm doing now, but turns out all 4 of them are there, and damn, you couldn't wish for a better forced hesitation. So yeah, I actually just close it here. My machine stutters quite a bit. I close it here after waiting out to see if my my computer will freeze anymore on me. And then I pick up the Sable first. My idea for this was I was certain at least one of them would have some kind of anti-slugging perk like the new Conviction. I was dead certain of that. And seeing that none of them had gotten up by now, I wasn't willing to risk it with the Sable, and so I hooked her first. Ended up being that I was able to hook the Sable, this... Damn it, is that Ania? I can't see her. And then this Yui, and luckily, you know, none of them had any DS or a power struggle. And yeah, generally speaking, you know, when I put these videos together, I would cut out the portion where I put everyone up on a hook. But I felt this was a special occasion because when I pick up this Renato, oops-a-daisy, he actually does have power struggle. And so now there begins phase 2 of this match where I am suddenly desperate to catch up. Doesn't help that I miss this swing, very embarrassing. And even worse, I go for this one here and miss again. The third person on Chucky is surprisingly difficult to manage as a killer main. It throws me off a lot. But I get him, I secure the kill, and I go from a kind of accidental slugging, for the most part, into a more purposeful tunneling strategy here. I missed this slice and dice, but I close in on the Sable pretty quickly. I don't know why she double back there. I don't know if that was a protection hit, but it didn't really help. She gets thrown up onto the hook here, and I think it's this Nia that comes around and she unhooks Renato. Renato runs to unhook her partner, or his partner, the Yui, and at this point I'm freaking out. They don't move from this spot, which is super helpful for me. I think that's a result of my being undetectable. I get this hit, they fail to get that flash, and he goes on the hook. So with the hooks back to back like this, I'm not as desperate. For whatever reason, these two kept healing immediately after unhooking, and I really couldn't tell you why they thought that would be a good idea. I've been showcasing my dashing abilities the whole game, and just before I nearly landed on the Sable, so her playing fast and loose with the healing, I don't know if that's a result of her underestimating my skill or what, but there's a showcase of it right there that probably secures their confidence in being able to beat me. But like I said, eventually through the middle and end of this, I became pretty happy with the results. Renato does a bit of a mind game around here, but they've wasted all their main pallets, and at this point not even a flash will save them. I carry him over to this hook, and I think immediately after this I go straight for the Chilean, my obsession, because Friends Till the End allows me to see where he is. I try to take a bit of a stealthy approach, not so undetectable yet, but just trying to use my size to hide from her line of sight. And she does something kind of strange here. She waits right there for way too long, and I couldn't tell if she just didn't see me or what, but she DCs immediately after I get her on this hook, which I didn't notice actually when it happened. I ended up hitting her on hook completely by mistake, but I felt really bad when it happened because I didn't mean to BM. I never mean to, really, unless I'm getting some salt, and then, you know, I might throw it back. I missed this again. I'm telling you, that slice and dice, it's damn near impossible to really work if the survivor can see you coming. And with his fucking scream, I mean, yeah, he just talks and screams like he's an aggressive stealth character and also a huge shit talker. He's really fun. I'm not gonna lie, I've been enjoying him a lot. I don't think I'll be a Chucky main until they fix the slice and dice issue. I feel like it's a huge detriment to the character. Oh, right there, yeah. So partly that was my inability to turn once the slice and dice starts. It literally locks the mouse in place and you can't do anything, but I'd also thought she was going to rescue the bot, but she didn't. And thankfully, this ends the video right here. I was able to get 4K, and they were pretty polite and cool about it in the post-game chat, which is always nice. I love when people are positive, which is very funny to say over the cutscene of Omori. Very violent, but you know, the spirit of the game is more than that. There's camaraderie to Dead by Daylight, and I felt like I played pretty fair here. I was not intending to slug or tunnel. I was just kind of pushed into a scenario where I felt like I had to an extent. But yeah, that was my 4K as the good guy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.